Item 7, citizens to be heard. This time is provided for citizens to address City Council on any issues and concerns. No City Council discussion or action will be taken if the item is not on the agenda. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes. State your name and address for the record. No personal attacks shall be allowed. Mr. Bob Carr.
Grow a little pain standing in front of such a distinguished group, but I'll manage. Be very short. Picking up trash, 155-gallon bags so far. We've been over all the thoroughfares, Kitty Hawk, Copper Wine. We're doing it again this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Some of Judge Ramirez's court assignments and others just volunteers. The only reason I'm here is I need targets. Any of you driving around see a node that offends you trash-wise in the city of Converse, call me. I'm in the phone book because we're running out of targets. We're going back and doing it all over again, which it needs to be done over again, especially down there around Judson High School, and that's what I call county. We've got 14 people, we have 72 person hours this week scheduled, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and that's a lot of person hours, and that's a lot of trash, and we just need targets. Somebody, and we'll get off the thoroughfares, we'll go to neighborhoods, as long as it's got a scintilla of public purpose, we'll come there and do that. If it's for the good of the town, I don't see why that's a problem. So we'll move into the neighborhoods. You call me and let me know where to go, and we'll do it. That's all there is to that, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mona LaPerriere.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for having me and allowing me to speak today. My name is Mona LaPerriere, and I own and operate Snowy Shaved Ice and Ice Cream Parlor directly across from this building. Address is 339 South City Road. Yesterday, I met with Mr. Sam Hughes, our city manager, and Mr. Mark Loft, executive director of economic development. And our discussion dealt with my request to relocate Snowy to the house across the street that is exactly across the street from Snowy at this time. I must admit that I was prepared for adversity, but imagine my surprise when I was met with the utmost courtesy and professionalism. And I thank you, Mr. Hughes and Mark Left, for your concern for my business. And my customers thank you too. Unfortunately, it is not enough for Mr. Hughes and Mr. Love to support me. Snowy also needs the support from you, City Council, because as Mr. Hughes told me, the City Council makes the final decision. Several evenings ago, I had the unexpected pleasure of meeting Mrs. Renee Pashaw, and upon learning that she was a City Councilwoman, currently serving on the board of the Economic Department, as you can imagine, I took the opportunity to take her aside and to tell her about my plans for Snowy's future, which involved the children. And she listened to me very attentively. She didn't say very much, but she did listen. However, the very next day, she visited Snowy and interacted with my customers and my employees for several hours. Obviously, the lady needed to see the viability of my plans before committing valuable time to the best interest of the City Council. This personal concern from a community leader speaks volumes for the hope and the growth of the future of this city. It isn't any wonder that Mrs. Michelle is a school teacher. And ladies and gentlemen, we all know that business owners must surround themselves with people who have fortitude and stick-to-itiveness. City officials who can begin a project and end the project completely without interruption. Because my endeavor with Snowy may be lengthy. It is my hope that Renee Pichel remain on the Board of Economic Development, as she has already demonstrated to me and to my customers that she has the kind of energy and caring that can make a city proud. With respect to my plans for Snowy, I look forward to discussing this with you at the next City Council meeting, I guess, or at your earliest convenience, so that we can put this show on the road for the kids. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Grant Lopez.
Good evening. Speaking on behalf of KAC, Grant Lopez, 10207, Outlaw Bend. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. It's been a while, it seems like, since the last meeting was real fast. Now we're in another one. KAC's speaking tonight. We just have a brief, I guess, question to ask if y'all do. There's a lot of projects going on in Converse right now, as everyone who drives around knows. If you look around at the numbers we always have at the meetings, it's always about the same number. Being around in the city, we get asked, not just people in KAC, but I'm sure a lot of people, such as yourselves, get asked, what are the current delays for in the projects? What other projects are we having? KAC just thinks it'd be a smart idea because we understand it's no one on the council's fault. We don't think it's any one person's fault. We know there's a lot of different delays, but we think it'd be a good idea if y'all could put out some sort of an ad or a letter in the Herald just explaining the reasons for the current delays that we have. We know with AT&T and TxDOT, it's kind of out of our hands. We just feel like a lot of people in the city don't know why we have those delays. I know personally when I volunteer running the pool in our neighborhood, I get asked a lot, what's the delay with Kitty Hawk? What's the delay with Hawkerline? And I try and explain it to them, and I say, well, you know, we have council members call, we have mayors call, we have city council. Feel free to come on by, they explain all that. Unfortunately, as y'all know, not everybody does come out. So that's it. We just think it'd be a good idea and, you know, help explain to the residents why we have the delays that we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Reginald Harris.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Reginald Harris, P.O. Box 382, Converse, Texas. I'm going to do something tonight I've never done at council meeting. I've never came here without my words written down, because tonight I feel so strongly about what I'm going to say. I didn't need to write them down. They're going to come from my heart. I want to congratulate those of you who were elected or re-elected to your positions. I think the campaign went very well for everyone. I personally appreciate that things were clean. But I want to say this to our council members and to our staff. You have no idea how much we, as citizens in the city of Converse, appreciate the dedication and the hard work that goes into running this city. No one knows as well as I do, because I do a lot of volunteer work myself within our city. But what I want to do is I want to plead with each of you council members to remember why we elected you to serve. We want you to not just listen to us, but we want you to hear us, and we want you to make decisions that are in the best interest of Congress and us, or we citizens. And each of us are different in our ethnic backgrounds, our socioeconomical backgrounds. We're also different in our educational backgrounds. But the one thing that we have in common as a common thread is the city of Converse. And I strongly feel that if we have a repeat of the types of things that happened last year with our council, we're not getting anything done. We need to agree to disagree on things that we can't agree on, and that's fine. That's why it's called politics. But we do need to agree on the things that are going to move our city forward. We have events coming up in the fall. We have a new city manager on board, the council members. We got a runoff election coming up. Oh, and then I mentioned that we got our project that's been on the back burner to do a 5-year plan for our city. So there's a lot of work for you all to do. There's a lot of work to be done, and you can't get it done bickering at each other. You can't get it done if you can't agree to disagree. And that's certainly fine with us. With me as a citizen, I personally have a regular respect for each of you. And I've spoken to you, and all of y'all know me personally. So it's not personal for me, it's business. We have a city to run. We have things that we have to get done, and we citizens will depend on you to do that for us. We have issues with the roads. We got money issues. We're trying to get abnormal taxes. There's a litany of issues for a small town. You know, did I mention that we're the fastest growing city in the metrodome? So with that comes a lot of issues as well. So I plead with each of you tonight, council members, to please remember, when you're voting on issues, please remember that you're not voting your personal opinion, but you're voting the opinion that's going to affect us. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. That concludes our citizens that we heard this evening. Item 8, no public hearing scheduled this evening. Item 9, no.
And for that reason, he's interjected a lot more procedures, formalities, forms to give folks every possible right that they deserve. And so if you compare a jury trial session of today to 10 or 15 years ago, you're going to see a vast difference, not only in time, but in procedures that were going on. So, you know, as far as how you deal with it in July or August or whenever it comes up again, I'm sure the judge is going to have some of his own ideas about things, but I have not received any calls from anyone threatening to sue the city for a lack of due process or being treated unfairly or inappropriately or anything like that. And in that respect, the judge that's operating an efficient and proper court in the big picture can save you a lot of headaches and a lot of money also. So.
Thank you, Ray. I agree with that. I think Judge Ramirez has been our judge for almost 2 years and hasn't asked for any situation like this in the past, as Councilwoman Vaughn indicated. So I can support this, and I can support him as well. So he is a very efficient and very outstanding judge. Any further discussion on item H? We have a motion on item H.
Second.
Motion approved by Councilman Leger, second by Councilman Rodriguez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries as written. Item I, discussion and appropriate action on request to approve City Converse Resolution number 622, a resolution recommending approval to the City Public Service Energy to fund a total estimated amount of $8,380 from Community Infrastructure and Economic Development Funds for the installation of underground electrical supply lines from the overhead transmission line to Valley View Seventh-day Adventist Church. Assistant City Manager, Mr. Quintanilla.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, I bring this resolution before you tonight in support of the Bridgehaven lift station. We are trying to complete these last few steps to get electrical to the lift station to get the Judson Independent School District Elementary School operational.
And your recommendation is approval on this?
Yes, sir, I recommend approval.
Okay. Any discussion on item I as written? Councilman Schindler, go ahead.
How much do we have remaining in this fund?
Mr. Hughes.
Round numbers, about 500,000, a little over 500,000. We are, and of course, it comes in pieces. The rough estimate is around 70,000 a year that comes and stacks up, okay? But if you don't use it over a certain period of time, the last year falls out. And so we have some 65,000 at risk that if we don't use it, it will go away, and this 8,300 will come from that. And so we're looking for other projects, but the problem with the underground conversion is it requires